1 2 1 2 1 testing 1 2 3 4 1 million 2 million 3 million. This is the Alpha Effects.
trading is all about experience. It's to feel the adrenaline running through our veins. Like all the things we do that excite us. Whatever world we come from or live in, there are people that are born to succeed. They're called special, to hustle every day for an opportunity of a lifetime. Looking for the challenge to shape our future is something that's in our DNA. A privilege just available for a few. Traders, we see things differently, paying attention to every small detail that would maybe go unnoticed by the common eye. On or by the edge is our playground, with a constant strive for glory, seeking for a new tomorrow. Do you feel special? Take back control of your investments.
One, two, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Leave a comment on YouTube if you can hear me. One, two, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. Aye. Hello.
Good afternoon, sir.
Tune 2, how you doing, brother? Good afternoon.
Great.
Good afternoon. How are we doing, Thomas?
Very good, thank you so much. Finally, after 3 freaking days, we have something to trade on, which is the ADP non-farm employment.
Good morning, Thomas.
Good morning. How is you, Ricardo, the master chef?
Very well.
Good.
How's the vacations?
I wasn't actually on vacation. I was working on the house, supervising the builders, etc. So nothing fancy. But it was good.
So you don't take a rest?
No, I never rest. I never rest.
It's only 1 week, but we miss you, man.
Thank you. Yeah, to be honest, like August trading is one of the worst. So I hate to trade in August. I plan to take the whole month off, but obviously I couldn't, even if I would. I like to follow markets. I like to analyze. So I'm gonna take another week at the end of August. Oh yeah, August trading is shit. In conclusion. Okay, so I start to delete everything on the chart, the previous plan, because ADP non-farm employment is coming up in about 42 minutes, if I calculate correctly. Shit, 26 minutes. It's 2:15. It's actually earlier than what I was expecting. ADP non-farm employment is the second most important data release this week. The first one is obviously non-farm payroll, which, surprise, surprise, I hate to trade non-farm payrolls. It's an ugly thing to trade. But anyway, ADP non-farm employment is said by many analysts that it's a good forecast, or can be forecasted, the NFP can be forecasted with the ADP non-farm employment. The last 3 ADP non-farm employment we have had good success, but the last one was not good, was absolutely not good, because there was a massive deviation, massive difference between the ADP non-farm employment and non-farm payroll. So actually this case, last month, ADP non-farm employment failed to forecast correctly, which it does happen sometimes, you know. All the insider people need to make money as well, not just us. But it's still about 80% of the cases, ADP non-farm employment is a wonderful tool to forecast NFP. But how can we make money out of ADP non-farm employment? Well, the methodology is super simple, just like any other data. The good thing is today we don't have any other very important news or data released at the same time, so it's just ADP non-farm employment. That's exactly what you want to trade, or how when you're trading financial data or economic data, economic indicators, macroeconomics. That's the situation you want. You want a nice, clean, single-digit data print. If there would be initial jobless claims or unemployment or anything else, you know, growth data, labor market, jobs data, it would mess up, and it increases the probability that the data is going to be conflicting. But today, finally, my friends, brothers and sisters, ADP non-farm employment is just ADP non-farm employment, and nothing 2 hours before, 2.5 hours later. So just ADP non-farm employment. But still, I didn't answer the question, how can we make money out of this? What do you think?
We're gonna watch the number and do the trade.
Very good. It's a good suggestion. Onset, can you help me analyze ADP non-farm employment in 23 minutes? Can we analyze it in 23 minutes?
Yes, we can.
Let's try.
Actually, well, you members, you had the lucky morning briefing where we actually did analyze everything.
Hello,
The whole
Thomas.
ADP. Hello, number one.
Number one, long time no see, man. I miss you very much.
Oh, hi, puppy.
Alice good.
Habibi.
I miss you too,
Alice
brother.
good.
Yeah, all is good. Thank
Hey.
you so much.
Hey, listen, everyone. Thomas number one.
Oh, no. I'm not. But carry on.
Number one, yeah.
But anyway, so we did already analyze the ADP non-farm employment in the morning, because members have the privilege to enjoy the morning briefing and listen to me 8:30 UK Central European time in the morning. It's a wonderful thing to do. And I'm going to walk you through, because during high impact data, many people don't know what to do and how to trade it. This is not bulletproof. This is not financial advice. I make mistakes as well, or the economic data or the market reacts completely different and goes against any logic or common sense. But the thing is that we have higher chances because we approach these economic data with a logical deduction approach. It's not like, you know, drawing lines and things on the chart. You cannot see everything on the chart. Doesn't matter what your forex guru said on Instagram. You have to approach economic data with logic and you know, with economics. So we have something called the ADP non-farm employment. Now, it's a labor market data, and currently we know that the Fed, the Federal Reserve of the United States, said things like they're going to make decision based on data. Well, this is exactly the type of data that they would watch and make decision. It's a labor market data or employment data, and the Fed is right now close to a pivot point where they might going to pause with the rate hikes, but they can decide to keep the interest rates high enough to pressurize the market, because labor market is so freaking strong that the lowest unemployment number similar to this was 55 years ago, 53, 55 years ago. That means for every unemployed person in the US, there are 1.9 available jobs, or let's round it up, 2 jobs available. Of course, the massive differences between each region. Some will have less jobs, some will have more jobs. Doesn't matter. The long story short is that there is a strong labor market, very low unemployment, employers struggling to find talent, struggling to find labor. And what they do when the labor market is strong, how can you incentivize people to work at your firm? Do you give them more candies or a pat on the shoulder?
Pay more.
Pay more, exactly. In order to pay more to attract people, that causes wage inflation. And right now, wage inflation is a big problem because the Fed is very close to bring down inflation to the 2% target, but is still missing 2%. And the stubborn wage inflation is keeping inflation up. It's fueling inflation. So we know that today we have ADP non-farm employment. We know that labor market caused pressure. Inflation pressure is big enemy of the Fed right now. So it's obvious that the market is going to react to labor market data. And the analysis you've been all waiting for. If we have the forecast, which is, a third the previous number, so it says it's going to be a very deflationary number. That's the forecast. If ADP non-farm employment comes as the forecast, or very close, so the deviation isn't too much, isn't significant, statistically isn't significant from the forecast, then we can consider it as deflationary. And if it's deflationary, gold is going to revisit 1980. Because if the data is deflationary, that means that less money is circulating in the economy because less jobs being created, less salaries being paid, i.e. less money is being spent, because if you don't have salary, you can't spend it, right? Now, that is the case when ADP comes out lower than expected. And conveniently, gold just climbed close to the daily pivot, just under the weekly pivot. So this is the dead zone. I wouldn't trade much around here because it's going to move sideways in the next 18 minutes. But to summarize it up, if ADP comes out lower than expected, so in line with expectation or even a lower number than 189,000 jobs, then gold is going to revisit 1980. I wouldn't go much higher because we have a clear resistance. If you look back historically, it's a very strong resistance level. And during summertime, the liquidity is drying up. And this is the chart. You can see, no, actually that was the monthly, wasn't it? No, anyway, ignore me. So going back to the chart, we have 2 possible scenarios. The first one was ADP lower than expected. That would help to push gold up to 1980. The second one, if ADP is higher than expected, which is very inflationary. Imagine that so many jobs being created, more salaries being paid, more money is being spent, more money is circulating in the economy, and that has to fuel inflation. And that is very bad news for gold because the Fed doesn't want to see any, strong labor market data. So that would help to push gold down back to 1930. Right now it's difficult to tell just by looking at the chart that what's going to happen because we don't know the data. We know the forecast, but forecast is, sometimes it can go wrong. Imagine, we can remember last NFP. But this is not the holy grail, that would be too cocky to say, but pretty much this is how gold is going to react. Higher ADP is going to push down gold, lower ADP is going to push up gold. There's not much to talk about it really. Any questions?
not on gold. How are you going to see stocks? US 30.
I think this is going to have the opposite effect as in gold. So a weak labor market data is going to a weak labor market data. Weak? Yes, weak labor market data is going to push down gold. So it's the opposite effect of the ADP. And let me just copy paste everything. So lower ADP, yeah, it's the reverse. It's the reverse, exactly the reverse. So a lower job number is going to push down US 30, and a higher ADP is going to push up, because you have to think reversely. More jobs being created, more salaries being spent, and that money is most likely going to spend on the Fortune 500 companies. Oh, it's too big. Slavty is asking about what about ADP and inflation correlation. I think I explained it pretty well in the past few minutes. But maybe I wasn't clear enough. Who knows?
You were clear, I think.
Well, it's a lot of information. So it's difficult to digest, but the more you practice, the better it becomes. It's just like sex, you know, you get better in time.
Hi, Habibi.
Oh. Habibi. How you doing, Andrew?
I'm good, thanks. How are you, Thomas?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Well, it's the shittest month of the year in trading.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I hate August trading. There's no liquidity. Everyone's on holiday.
Time to take some holidays.
Where are you going? Magaluf.
Oh, I wish. I can only take holidays in September because of my dissertation, isn't it?
Well, you can write your dissertation on your holiday.
It's true. It's true. Very, very true.
Well,
but you know,
in reality, you wouldn't really.
Exactly. All it takes is one night out, and then you forget about a dissertation.
Yeah. But you know, dissertation you can do it in 2 weeks. Come on.
Yeah, that's right. Now I've done my literature review. I just need to do the data, and then once I've done the data, I can finish the rest.
Do you know how I did my literature review? I've done it. I summarized everything in tables.
Yes. Yeah.
That was very effective. It was easy to oversee.
You have your references, and then you have like a summary of what
I need to check because it wasn't referencing. It wasn't like a table of contents. I think. Sorry, I need to think about this, but I think I separated the literature into who said what and grouped them into the different theories and methodologies. Yes, the methodologies. That was the main selection or grouping.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. What was your topic when you did yours?
Fuck. That was like years ago. So undergraduate, there was.
I don't remember. Too many years ago.
God, I need to look it up. It was about stock market of the macroeconomic determinants of stock market, sectoral performance, empirical analysis of the UK consumer goods sector.
Okay, no, that's interesting.
Yeah, the other one, the master, was pretty much the same, but in a different.
Yeah, it's a bit more
topic.
extensive, isn't it?
No, it was actually just, on a different sector.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes, it was cheating, but yeah, it's the macro. So basically, what I did is I collected some of the economic indicators, and I did, of course, regression analysis as an undergrad. That's basic, but I also did Johansen co-integration, and what else I did?
Yeah.
Impulse response function, Johansen co-integration, and vector error correction model. Yeah, there's shitloads of quantitative analysis.
Yeah, even we have to use the E-views.
Yeah, or what was the other one? Not E-views.
I only know, like, this is the first time I'm using E-views, and when I first started in September, headache.
Well, have you done? Is it your undergrad?
No, this is a master's. If for my undergrad, I didn't do any dissertation. It was just exams. It was just
What?
before COVID. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was just before COVID. It was, when did I graduate? 2020.
We use not E-views, not data stream. God, I have the description of data. Hi, then Dorothy. I did econometrics, but not E-views. E-views is used in most of the banks and all the research departments, but I did. Fuck me. God, it's too much. It was years ago.
But it's crazy how you know about E-views.
Yeah, because when you do quantitative analysis, so econometrics, E-views, everyone that is the basis. That's what. If you're an economist, yeah. But we didn't use E-views. We used, God, what is the name of the program? Non-stationary causes, integration, augmented Dickey-Fuller test. Fuck me.
Was it Excel, Python?
No.
SPSS?
No. Anyway, it's... I did the Phillips-Perron test, augmented Dickey-Fuller test. But anyway, it's not relevant because we're on live. We can have a chat about this. Yeah. But basically, E-views is similar than what I use, but E-views is like the one I used on steroids. It's fascinating. It's a lot of... I have a very good book I can send to you. It's about econometric analysis.
Please, I'd appreciate that.
Principles of Econometrics. It's a very good book. So let's have a quick look on the comments on YouTube. Oh, we have 510 people watching yet on. Oh, Stata. Thank you, Dr. Navaf. There was Stata. Yes.
Oh, Stata. Yes, Stata.
Yeah, it was an old school econometric statistical software, or what the hell, but it was a pain in the ass.
Even with me, I found econometrics so hard at the start.
Oh, Andrew, did you notice that we talked too much and there's literally 5 minutes until the date to release?
Yes. Okay, let's get ready.
Yeah,
to double
let's
your
make
money.
some money. So
Hey,
I'm going
Habibi.
to. Hey. Many people asking whether it's a buy or a sell, but you know we don't know yet. We're waiting for the data.
Right.
What do you think, guys? Is ADP going to be? What is ADP going to be? Because that is going to determine whether it's a buy or a sell.
It's going to be less than expected.
Oh, that would be very very deflationary. Right now, gold is edging lower. Came back to the daily pivot. I do have a little buy on gold, but I'm considering I need to close it down, unfortunately, because data is very, very close. That's the data. USD Japanese yen. We had a nice sell based on the. Let me just mute Amit Mishra. It's very, very loud. So I had the UJ sell based on the downgrading of US sovereign debt, and I had a buy based on similar news. I have to close it down soon. So let's go back to trading view quickly. I don't usually I do front running before the market data, but this time I think the market is front running because the data is just too low. And recently, last week or this week, Monday, there was some strong data or inflation worries. So am I switching to a sell? What do you think, Andrew? Should we do a front run?
Since it's August, I always have this thing where even if we get the correct analysis, we might get our stop loss hit, then it goes our way.
Yeah.
That's the only problem. It always likes to collect liquidity, especially when it comes to summer. That's why.
4 minutes, Andrew. 3 minutes. Yeah, I think the data, just gut feeling, I think the data is just seems too low. What about seasonality and all that?
Yeah. I think it's definitely important for us to wait for the data to come out first, see how the market reacts.
Yeah, or you could go up to the weekly pivot and then smash down. But,
Are you still in the buy?
No, I closed it down. I actually entered into a sell. Yeah, these are the positions, but it's only like half a lot, so nothing crazy. But I have my gut feeling that the number is just too low. It doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I entered into a sell on gold.
Half a lot. It's not going to hurt your account.
Wasn't there a time before when they gave such a low number and then they sort of revised it?
When was it last time? Yeah, it happens all the time with NFB and ADP. I think the data is low and it's going to come out a little higher.
Yeah.
Which, in case, if the higher data, it would be translated as inflationary.
So we sell gold, full margin.
2 minutes, full margin, no stop loss. No, just kidding, guys. Don't do anything crazy. Ali Mogadan, hard to make money these days? Absolutely. That's the reason why I cut all the positions in half in August.
Thomas, have you observed in NFP news is usually the market front runs in an inverse way, which means if it comes down before the news, it usually tends to go up. That's what happened the last month as well.
There you have your edge on the market, brother. Right, we have 1 minute to go. My bet is going to be a higher number, which is going to be inflationary. But this is speculation. We don't know the number, but I have a sell position. Balbogdan says higher ADP sell gold. Well, I agree with you, but anything is possible, so don't rush into any trading decisions, guys. Let's wait for the data. As soon as it's important, if you're listening, if you hear, if you see the data coming out, shout it out so I can make a trading decision based on that. And we have 30 seconds to go. I do have cheeky sell front running the data. It's only half a lot, so nothing crazy. Remember, if you see the data is higher than expected or the forecast, sell the shit out of gold. If it's lower, significantly lower, then just buy. So we have 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the data should come out, and it is, oh, sell the shit out of gold. Wow, going back to the position, I'm gonna enter into another sell just now. The data was higher than expected. Let's quickly have a look on the other look on the data. Yeah, it was higher, as I said. Now, in my opinion, in my translation, this is inflationary, so I entered into a sell on gold. Now, don't rush into any trading decision. Have a look on the data, see if this lines up with your plan. If it does, then maybe take the same position. But let's see. We had a nice initial drop. How much was that push to the downside? Let's have a quick look. Anyone in position?
A small sell.
Small sell. Okay, I'm aiming 1930. I think that's reasonable.
I'm selling full margin.
It's double than the forecast. It's double than the forecast, guys. So ideally, you should have a nice push to the downside, but anything is possible. Don't go into crazy. You see that usually I enter with 5 lots or maybe 10, rarely, but during August, during summertime, I cut everything in half. It's important because August is a very low liquid trading month. Liquidity is low, so that's the reason why I use only half lot sizes, half position sizes. And yet the gold hasn't dropped that much. That's exciting. Let's have a look one more. Let's have another look on the data. See if there was any revision for the last. No, the last month wasn't revised too much. It was 455 and it was 490 something. ADP is higher. Yeah, it is inflationary. Strange. Let's have a look on the live positions. It's more fun. Now, why are you pushing up gold? That's not nice. We have the inflationary data. Now it's pushing up, tricking everyone. 600 pounds loss. Ah, okay. Maybe it's retesting the pivot. Right. If you go down to lower time frame, this is why we have a bit wider stop loss. If you go down to lower time frame, for just now, just deleting this, you see that we had a nice channel on lower time frame, and it's close to the pivot. So now we're just retesting the pivot. Hopefully it's going to continue lower. But that could be the reason why gold is pushing up a little bit. But clearly, looking at the data, it's inflationary. Does anyone think otherwise? Someone is placing heavy lots. Onset, what the hell are you doing?
Just SL. Managing my risk.
Don't go
Full
crazy.
margin, baby. Full margin.
Full margin. No full margin, guys.
Can't do.
Zahari Vaklinov says it needs liquidity before going down, so it will probably create a top wick. Yeah. James Kirimati says it's inflationary, but still lower than the previous number. That's also true. But you have to make a decision. It's a buy or sell. Which one are you focusing on, the forecast or the previous number? There's two different ways to interpret. It slowed down. Actually, it slows down slower than expected, or it's lower than the previous one. It's just different ways looking at. So the news doesn't matter, hence I'm putting such a low forecast. Up to you, buddy. I'm sticking with sell. Simple analysis. And let me show you again. What was the analysis? Oh, gold is edging lower.
Hamas number one.
Yeah, slowly. So 1930 is my target.
Make the money, take the money.
Not yet. We want to see a nice healthy drop. And ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already signed up to my Telegram, please feel free to do so by following the link if you look to your right on the YouTube chat. There you go. If you want daily content, daily analysis, pictures of me, feel free to join the Telegram. All right, back to profit.
Tom, thank you very much. Good profit. That's it.
Why, you out already?
Today for me.
That was only 30 pips.
But very big lot, man. Full margin.
Oh.
Thank you, Tom. Number one.
You're welcome. Hasn't done anything really, just talking about economics. Okay. James is also in a sell. We win together, bro. Yeah, win together, lose together. Kumil Hassan, cowboy pants. No idea what that says. I'm actually wearing a short. Doesn't look like a cowboy. So. So, quick question, guys. Does it make sense? Because obviously we talked about this during the morning briefing. When I talked about and explained all the, thought process on inflationary, deflationary, how should you trade economic news, does it make sense?
Yes, for me it makes.
Yeah, to me
Right.
too, definitely. It does make sense.
I would advise to close down the US-Japanese yen sells. Because they're also quite bullish for dollar. US 30, we're going to jump, or I'm going to jump into in a sell. No, in a buy before the New York Open. The market has become data dependent. Ruby Tahir. Yes, because the Fed said they're going to make decisions based on data. That's why. Should be good for stocks, hence positively. Yes, in my opinion, it should be good for stocks. You know. Let's hit the likes on YouTube. Give me some love.
Habibi.
Sahin is asking, Thomas, please tell me, will my order come in profit or should I exit? It depends where was your entry. I'm holding on to the sales because the data was inflationary. So you have to decide, and this is very important. This is what makes a good trader. If you make a plan, you have to stick to it. Obviously, sometimes plans doesn't go as planned, but then you can always fine-tune. The worst thing that you can do is you jump in and out and change your mind. My plan today was, and let me show you again the chart. My plan was today, if the data comes out higher than the forecast, I'm going to sell gold simply for the reason because it is inflationary. Imagine, just think logically, guys. Let me talk you through. ADP non-farm employment means that how many jobs outside farming has been created, and this is different to NFP, but also similar. It's a similar statistical sample, but it's a private statistics. So if the ADP comes out higher than expected, that means more jobs being created in the economy, more salaries being paid, more salaries being spent in the economy. That is inflationary. And that is the reason why I'm selling. It's simple as that. I visualize everything on the chart. I add the scenarios and you know, everything. And let's have a look at the results. And so far it's going in 40 pips of profit. -2. Let's go to 37. Just stick to the plan. Don't change your view. Stick to the plan. It's hard, it's tough, it's not easy to see when your position is going to draw down. But you have to stick to it. If it makes sense. If it's a complete utter rubbish plan, then don't stick to it. And those who wish to join the Alpha community and get the same level of daily analysis and forecast, if you want to join, you can do so by look right now in the YouTube chat. I'm posting the link. You get 50% discount. And you get morning briefing every day, like today, before the ADP non-farm employment, and many, many other things. We get hot girls in the group.
Habibi.
scare the baby with the music. Amit Mishra. One, two, 1 2. Can you hear me?
Yes, Thomas.
Right. Okay, everyone left.
Yes.
Why is it going up? Scary. Good thing is we don't have any other data, so now we just have to watch how the market is going to react. Slow TF says look for buy.
Yeah, but we also have a news from the morning when the dollar shrugs because of the U.S. credit rating as well. What you think?
That's true.
What the Wall Street is gonna do when they're gonna open in 1 hour? They're gonna sell the dollar then?
That's bad news because they can sell the dollar and buy gold because that creates uncertainty, and you know gold is a safe haven asset. So what Sportlotto is talking about is that the U.S. sovereign debt has been downgraded, which hasn't happened for decades, and yeah, Treasury shrug of the US debt downgrade the stock slide. Let's have a look on the yeah, the problem is the market is waiting out. You can clearly see from the Treasury yields on the short end of the yield curve. So this is the 2-year Treasury yield, that it came back into the consolidation area. Now Treasury yields been consolidating for quite a while now, a few weeks, waiting for a break, ideally to the upside, to revisit 5.1%. Today's data was quite inflationary, so that should give a nice catalyst, and yet Treasuries did shrug off some of the sell-off because, you know, price and yield moves inversely. And I'm expecting a break to the upside in yields. Now, when yields are going up, gold is falling in the current interest rate environment. This is not a rule of thumb in the current economic and interest rate environment. And that, when yields are rising, gold should drop. So going to continue into the selling position. Everything points to the direction gold should drop in my analysis. Most important, guys, stick to your analysis. If it lines up with mine, make your move, but always stick to the plan. Winner. Thanks, Gagan.
Habibi.
Wagwan, Jamaica.
Wagwan, Dennis. I thought you left.
No, Thomas, I support you until the end of the fight.
Finish him.
Good, good, good. Thank you so much. Now we just need someone to slap down gold.
Don't worry, Thomas. When the stock is open, it will hammer. Waterfalls.
I won't wait until New York Stock Exchange open because I'm gonna go sailing today, and I'm itching to leave the desk behind and hit the water. And this is why I freaking hate summer trading. No liquidity, just a annoying sideways movement. It's like watching paint dry. Mahra Raisi is staying away from gold today, but can go down to 1938 and 1926 for TP2. Not sure if pushes down. Yeah, I do agree. That's why I'm gonna sell. Hey, yes, yes, yes. Slowly pushing lower and lower. Who's buying? Anyone buying?
Not gold.
No.
What you buying?
I buy the scalp. I don't sell, so I buy the first scalp. So I'm off. So
done?
for me, yes, it's good.
Oh.
I'm buying.
You're buying what?
That pullback you made it, I catch because
I'm buying
the sell
Lamborghini.
it's too fast, so I can catch the sales. I prefer that small pullback.
Yeah, but it's, you know, my TP is going to be around, let's make it 1930. That would be ideally my TP. But it can go 1925-ish. Let me show you the chart. I think 1930 is reasonable as a TP. 1930 is historically strong. 1936. But still, that's 100 pips away. Oh, there's room to the downside. Eliteman says, too sketchy market. Yeah, it's shitty summer trading. Ricardo.
Yes.
Where you from?
Portugal.
Ah, I thought Italy.
Yes, my family is from Italy, but I'm from Portugal.
Okay.
I was born in Portugal. So
what's your favorite topping on pizza?
actually, I like very simple food. So
Ketchup and
maybe
pineapple?
Pineapple, but
Really?
not a regular pineapple.
I
I like to make some caramelization of pineapple and something like vinegar balsamic to give some acidity to the pineapple. Of the
Ooh.
Those who don't know, Ricardo is a 7 Michelin star super chef. Like you should see his Instagram, mate. It's unbelievable. Like every time I, just look at his Instagram, I'm like, oh fuck, I'm hungry. He's a very good chef.
I try to.
Quick
I
question.
tried.
Sorry to interrupt. There's a question. It's a very good question. Cole Dylan is asking, hey Tomasz, why yields are going up? Let me tell you, yields are going up because today ADP non-farm employment printed a inflationary number. So the number was higher than the forecast. Where is the cheeky fucker? It was higher than the forecast, means that the Fed has a long way to... labor market is still too strong, and the Fed is not going to pivot anytime soon because labor market is still too strong. So they're going to further increase interest rate or keep the current interest rate high enough for longer period than expected, and that's why yields are going up. And you can see if you add to your watch list the US 2-year, you can see that this yield is going to break out because the interest rate expectation is increasing among traders and investors all around the world for the US. So yields are going to come back to above 5%, and that's why yields are rising. But when yields are rising, not many people know gold is dropping. Ideally it should drop, but now it's just being a bit of cunt and teasing us. Yes, back to the pineapple pizza, sorry.
And I think it's important to make food pairing. See if the food we make on the dish is complementing itself. So I think bacon is very good to pineapple. So the sweetness, I know there are some Muslims don't like it, but today we have cow bacon, so, or vegetable bacon, so we don't have to make it
That's a good one.
from the meat.
Yeah,
but bacon it's a very good complement for all the pizzas. About the fatness, the sweetness they have,
the saltiness,
and mushrooms. Mushrooms is a touch of heart, so it's very good.
Oh god, you made me hungry.
Yeah.
Hey, Ricardo, I disagree to you.
Oh.
Ricardo, I disagree to you. You know what?
Yes.
If you put pizza, pineapple is a provocation of Italians. Come on.
Actually,
Ricardo, Ricardo.
We don't make pizza for Italian guys. We make pizza for European guys. So it's like the Chinese. You don't eat the true Chinese food. You eat the Occidental Chinese food. So we have to make it commercial.
No pineapple in pizza, Ricardo, por favor.
Yes, we have to make it commercial.
Italian. I lived with 2 Italian girls when I was at uni. They liked each other, so there was no chance to get in between. But anyway, that's a different story. And I always pissed them off. Like when I was making spaghetti, I broke the spaghetti in half and put it in the water. They freaked out.
That's a
They looked at me
crime.
like, it is. She was like, "Are you fucking crazy? You would go to prison in Italy." I was like, "All right." Then I ordered some. I cooked some frozen pizza. The look, it was they were disgusted, and I put so much. Yeah.
That is
Haram. And I put so much fucking ketchup on the pizza, they nearly threw up.
No, I know the Brazilian guys like mayonnaise and ketchup on the pizza. Actually,
Hungarians too.
I only put 3 ingredients on my pizza, and I start to making like the food pairing. 3 ingredients. I use the base, the tomato and the cheese, and then I put more 3 ingredients to make the food pairing and make some kind of feng shui, gastronomic feng shui. So that's why I design my dishes. So
Ricardo, one more second. Can you drop your ID so we'll follow you to check your work?
It's okay. I write here. It's Vitalichev. But I'm just a regular guy, okay?
Oh, ladies
Nice,
and
we'll follow you.
gentlemen, gold is slowly inching lower. It will drop. How to find Ricardo on Insta?
I write it here on chat.
Yeah, it's Vitaly
Yeah,
Chef.
got it.
Vitaly Klitschko.
Actually, I want to ask you if I can put your alpha on my stories and your my posts.
Yeah, but I'm not. My account is private now. It's just too many scammers on Instagram. So
Yeah, I
I'm
know
going to. Well, I'm going to change it from September, October. I want to redo the
Then
whole
I put
Instagram.
them.
Yeah, I don't want to put pictures of myself. I'm going to put pictures of food or something. But it's just so many scammers. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it's like watching paint dry. And now I hope everyone understands why I hate summer trading. Gold is moving sideways again. Yes, it does. It's being a little cunt. And the worst part is that there isn't any other data for today. So Sportlotto was right that probably the market is waiting for the New York Stock Exchange Open, because we had the news which broke overnight that the US government debt have been downgraded by Fitch Ratings, which hasn't happened for decades. Big news. Made a few pips on this one in the morning, but now it just doesn't go anywhere. It's a pain in the ass.
Hello, Thomas.
Hello, Raj. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. Yourself?
I'm good, but
I have a quick question. Just a little bit of a technical one.
Mm-hmm.
I think you've seen the same thing pretty much. Right now we are massaging the 4-hour demand multiple times since 27th of July.
Mm-hmm.
So it's had 1, 2, almost 3 attempts. The question I ask myself a lot of times, more knocks it has, weaker it gets in it sometimes, the support or even the resistance itself. I know there is no crystal clear answer to that.
Sorry, so your question basically regarding this support?
4-hour support. From the previous 27th, we had quite a few attempts, and the point was, the first time he hit the support, we had a nice long run.
Yeah.
Then a bit of a retracement, then pushed up. But the second time he hit the support, it hasn't found that much of a volume like the first one. It seems like it's getting weaker.
Yeah, but you have to. It's support and resistance. It's not really important in my opinion when you have something that overrides, which is the economic data, and clearly the economic data is more inflationary than the forecast, so it slows down or reduces slower than it's anticipated, and that should help to push gold down in theory. So if we would have a little bit higher data, support wouldn't mean anything. It would just melt through like hot knife in a butter.
Yeah, because I'm still bullish on gold by the look of it. You know, there are retracement, which is pretty normal anyway.
But
day to day.
If you look at the data, some people say, like myself, that it's inflationary because it's double than the forecast. But bulls like you could argue it's actually deflationary because it's lower than the previous one.
Correct.
Both view is right, and when you look at the chart, you can apply this theory into technicals. Like, you bullish because you see a support. I'm bearish because it's lower highs and lower lows and trading below the pivot. So it's many ways to explain what you see. That's why we have a market.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I'm bullish in that side, but what I can see in that side, I'm bearish at the same time, where I see the support is breaking. Because if the support breaks, which already has anyway yesterday, bit of a liquidity grab, then we have a pretty clear zone until 1934, which is a massive London push. So there is a nice, what do we have?
1934, I would be happy with that, to be honest, because that's...
You see what I mean? If he breaks that support, the 4-hour support, I think we will run down to 1934, because you have a couple of supports there. So I'm just kind of arguing myself, really, before I get into any trade. I just want to see. I just get in your inputs, you know, that's all, because I missed that your economical data.
Yeah, the thing is, like, you know, if you look at the data, it's deflationary. Sorry, it's inflationary because it's double than the forecast, but it's deflationary because it's smaller than the previous one. So, you know, which one is it, half full or half empty? It's not helpful, but I made my analysis and I made my plan. Hence, I'm stuck in sells, but buyers aren't any better off because they stuck in the same consolidation as
pretty much
sellers.
Same.
So
what would be your rough target to get out, if you don't mind me asking? Because the market is so choppy, you know, as you explained in summertime.
Yeah.
Ideal pips, because I'm
54.
kind of trying. Yeah, I'm not pushing over 60. I did get like 80 pips the other day, which wasn't lucky enough. But other than that, I see like, you know, 50 to 60 pips. Then it kind of starts retracing.
There are many ways. I wouldn't go any higher than 53-ish, 54. That's the previous week. That's the, you know, the previous highs. Right here. But if you look a little bit higher, there you have the weekly pivot, and that could be a reversal.
Well, that's a massive, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the thing is, like, this is typical shitty summer trading. And
I think it's my perspective is having splitting the trade into two. I think, because if it's gonna retest the higher end, then half of the size, isn't it? They can get another entry later.
Or I could just pack up my stuff and go sailing or fishing.
You can, of course, do that.
And I think that's what I'm going to do, guys, because now it's been almost a bit less than an hour since the data release, and now it's just moving sideways. Doesn't want to go anywhere. I'm sticking to the stance. I'm going to hold the positions open. But be careful, because we had to downgrade the US sovereign debt. That has a different effect. That would push, if the market reacts to this news, it would push gold up, because the fear of default and, you know, all that. It would push down stocks, and push US dollar down. So gold up, dollar down, stocks down. If this news becomes the main focus of traders and investors. If the data is in focus, when the New York Stock Exchange opens, when the liquidity comes, I'm on the sell side because data was inflationary. Others can argue it's deflationary because it's half of the, or less than the previous one. everyone make a decision. This is the beauty of trading, and this is the beauty when you have to use your brain and you have to stick your analysis. And I'm gonna call it today, guys. It's been a wonderful 1.5 hours, but it's just moving sideways, isn't going anywhere. But I'm going silly now. So thank you so much, guys. I wish you
Thanks,
a good
Thomas.
trading
Have a
day.
good one, buddy.
Thomas, enjoy sailing.
Thank you, Thomas.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Ciao,
Thank
cacao.
you,
Thank you,
Thomas.
Thomas.
Bye.
Bye,
guys.
Thomas.
Yeah, thank you, Tom.
Bye bye. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if
Butterflies.
you would like to join the Alpha FX community, I have some very good news. You can do so, and by the way, gold is just running in 40 pips profit. You can go to the Alpha FX website, and there is a 50% discount. I opened 10 places. There's only 4 now. It's just 4 left. If you look to your right in the chat, you can find the link and you can join the Alpha community. I do same analysis every single day in the morning, live morning briefing, live trading, macroeconomics, technicals, whatever you want, full package. Anyway, have a look on the website, decide for yourself. Most important, enjoy the summer. There's only 4 weeks left. Thank you so much. This is the Alpha FX.